Okay, we are live. It is the rundown. It is our last day in San Antonio. It's April 3rd. We're on the Riverwalk back at our original location, Thursday Aztec. People are vaping. It's brought to you by Blue. Sometimes it's hard to find a satisfying vape that's simple and convenient. So Blue, who introduced the world to vaping, is now introducing My Blue. With My Blue, easy-to-use one-click pods, you can switch between flavors in seconds. Just click and go. Head over to myblue.com. Check out My Blue and their $1 trial offer on a My Blue kit. That's myblue.com for full details. A lot of people chirping my vape skills out here in San Antonio.
They stink. Yep, exactly.
All right, national title. Can I pull this back, Hank, or am I going to, like, the cord is... Can I get a little... There we go. Thank you. A lot of smoke, a lot of vape.
Clouds.
National title game yesterday.
It's a good game. Great game.
An absolute debacle.
Great game, Dave.
I will say my guy Tommy Smokes, a bird shit on him before the game, and that
almost made me change my bets.
That's the only time I'm like, oh my God, we're gonna win this thing. I said it all week. I know, Dan, you are huge, and you're just building this up so you can have the excuse. But the facts are, I watch college basketball. I like Villanova. I know Villanova's awesome. I knew they were awesome. I didn't think Michigan was that good. I thought the only way Michigan would have a chance would be Tommy Smokes mojoed them. People are killing Tommy. Nobody can save that. They play. I said before the game, if they played 100 times, Villanova wins 95. I may have upgraded that if they play games where it mattered, like the national title. I think Villanova wins all 100. If you play a 100-game season where Villanova is sleeping a couple times, maybe we sneak in 5 to 10 wins. These two teams didn't belong on the same court. I'm kind of sad because I'd like to get a title, but at the same time, if you're going to lose with no doubt. Like, there is no doubt that we were not nearly as good.
No doubt.
There was only a couple points in the game where you thought that Michigan had a chance. Like, they started out strong, but then as soon as the big tall dude got gassed, it was kind of over.
Wagner got gassed so fast. He came out with so much energy. I think he scored 9 points. I think it was like 9-8, Wagner versus Villanova for a minute there. He got gassed. Michigan's entire game plan was to just not let them shoot threes. They drove to the basket. They beat you a million different ways. Like, Spellman and Brunson didn't play very well, and they still beat them.
Brunson was in foul trouble.
Yeah, Spellman couldn't hit a fucking shot.
It's what I said, but that's what makes Villanova so great. It's DiVincenzo went off. Ironically, that's the kid that someone thought I was. That just worked out.
Mikal Bridges had 19 points. I mean, Mikal Bridges is so smooth. He is definitely obvious. He's their best player and the most draftable player. That's not really saying anything.
But what I said, if DiVincenzo doesn't go off, just somebody else will.
Yeah.
And if that guy doesn't, they have somebody else. They can beat you anyway. Any way you want to play, they're better than you at it.
And he crushed the spirit of the crowd because when they got to within 12 in the second half, and then Donte hit those two insanely long.
He had the block.
Yeah.
He had the
block
rim,
and then hit two long threes in a row.
That was like another level of
But I'm an
experience.
optimist. By nature, gambling, you always do it. Even when Michigan got to 12, you can ask, like, the guy Tommy. I just sat there. It's like I knew.
But a lot of the Michigan crowd was getting into it at that point.
Well, if you travel and you come, you have to root for something. But it was so obvious that they had, not only that they had an answer for everything. It seemed like every time they missed a shot, they just got the rebound anyways. It was like there was no way to beat them. The only time I got mad, really, it's like, come on, is the end of the first half when they rolled the ball up. There's 40 seconds, so they're clearly doing 2 for 1. And Michigan just sat back. They let them roll it uncontested half court, and then Brunson just pulled up, buried a 3. That was the end. The game was over before it started, but that was really the end of the game. Mm-hmm. So I know people are going to still be like, Rome curse.
Well, no, so Tommy Smokes doesn't get we said this before going into last night. That last night's game was not a break night for Tommy. It was a make night. So, what happens. Tommy doesn't lose his powers. If Michigan somehow pulls that off, he is now, like, we're talking.
He's like Joe Pesci,
pay
man.
$50 to go touch Tommy Smokes kind of bullshit.
Yeah,
Jesus on a piece of toast.
Yes.
So Tommy's kind of just the same. The gambling heater's still there.
I was 4-3. And let me say on the gambling stuff, I don't think people get this. I've gone 25 years with losing basically every single day of every single week.
Yep.
So it's like I haven't had since I've teamed up with him not one losing day.
Yeah. It's remarkable.
Not one. He was 4-3 yesterday. I haven't had every day I go to my account, it's up every day since Tommy's been a part of my life. So that's not stopping.
No, I think Tommy tweeted out that you guys were up 26 units.
Yeah. Since he's been in my life, I'm up 26 units.
So he doesn't lose his powers.
He said today in the hotel room off camera, he goes, it's kind of remarkable that we're up 26 units and we just broke even. Yeah. And it's true. That's what we took 26 units to get me back to even. But now he's on the 10%.
Okay.
So he's 10% Tommy now.
You're in the black.
Once I'm in the black, he has 10% of everything I make moving forward.
Part of the rule is you shouldn't be able to gamble when Tommy's not around.
Well, I should.
You got to stop yourself.
I mean,
that's why he lives with him.
But he keeps doing every time he gets down, it's because he's not with Tommy.
Yeah, but I mean, if I follow that rule, I won't be gambling in general.
So either way, so Tommy Smoke's power is still very much intact. The Rowan curse, though, is still very much intact because you've lost 2 championship games. I don't care how it how it happened. You were favorites in one, you were underdogs in the other. You lost 2 championship games in the course of basically 2.5 months. And Smitty wins rough and rowdy. The Rowan curse is still very much alive.
But first of all, Smitty hates Villanova. He says it's not even a Philadelphia school. He says Philadelphia hates Villanova. They're rooting against them.
I'm talking about Smitty winning rough and rowdy because you're rooting very hard against them. The Rowan curse is still very much intact. You cannot argue it because it was an underdog or this that. The facts of the matter are you've lost in the biggest stages ever since the curse happened.
I'll say this is what the Rowan curse did. The Rowan curse put me in a position. They put Michigan in an unwinnable position. They put me in an unwinnable position. It happened to be Villanova, Michigan. Michigan is a decent basketball team this year. They are they didn't belong in the same gymnasium.
I just know that you're doing mental gymnastics right now to try to be like the Rome curse isn't real anymore.
And I don't have a dog in the fight, but when Rome puts up that wizard on Twitter, it's terrifying.
Let's chills down your spine.
Let me ask you this. I said feed me the Flyers. The Bruins knocked the Flyers out.
No, you need to win a championship.
Yeah, I don't think it counts if it's like round 1 or 2.
It's such ridiculously high standards. So you put a curse on me, and I've been in the national championship and champion twice.
The Eagles won their first Super Bowl of all time against
the Rome curse. Listen, the Rome curse is still. I haven't proven that doesn't exist. I give you that, but this was a tough situation. But Michigan, I mean. I knew they couldn't beat Villanova. They had no chance to beat Villanova.
See, like I said, you're doing mental gymnastics to get out of it, but the curse is alive.
Donte.
Tommy's going to get hit by a car or something.
Oh, wow. Dan.
That was a little much, Tommy.
Should have said that into existence. My bad, Tommy.
Yeah. Not with.
I apologize.
With the foot cramps that he's been dealing with, and throw that on him? Or
I don't want it to happen. I'm just saying the curse works in mysterious ways.
Donte DiVincenzo.
Just don't go near any cars.
Red hot.
I feel bad, and I don't feel bad that you die. I feel bad that I said that you die, and then it would be on my conscience.
And then what am I gonna do? Just go back in the hole, fucking $250,000?
Maybe like an old lady going to the old widower going to the grave.
Yeah.
You just sit in his
wheel
grave
your
site.
casket into my living room.
You just sit in the fucking graveyard all night
on Gamecast.
Yeah, on Gamecast with single rows.
Next topic. Tommy just gave us one of these. Donte DiVincenzo, red hot. I mean, athletic, hitting shots. He's been hot the whole tournament. He's getting better as the season. He's only a sophomore. He probably thought he'd go home to all these tweets about how he's the greatest. Nope, people digging up tweets from when he was like 14 years old.
They Nate dogged him.
Yeah, they Nate dogged him, saying that he liked getting his asshole licked was one of them. Flaming.
Don't hate that, by the way.
No,
yeah.
That's
by
the way, when you're 14 getting your asshole licked, that's something fucking.
Well, you know what it is.
Where do you go from there?
His nickname is the Michael Jordan of Delaware. Which is an unreal nickname to have.
Yeah, well, he is.
Yes, he is.
And that means you get your asshole licked.
Yeah, right. That's why you get your asshole licked.
Yeah.
You got to lick the MJ of Delaware's ass
so
when
you
see it.
He had that. He also had the Meek Mill line that people saying are racist. It's
stupid.
Balling on those N-words. It was a Meek Mill song that came out right before. And by the way, he's using that in a basketball term, clearly, being like a white boy, like balling on everybody.
That's why I get all my rap music from Walmart.
But the funniest part is Villanova, and I use this analogy early, they immediately said he was hacked. It's like if something bad comes out it's like getting hit in a stethoscope with the knee. It's like, hey, you said this on Twitter, hacked. Yeah. And they retracted it, though. Villanova came back and said, actually,
Villanova should said they were hacked about the hacking.
Yes.
Yeah, just a hack off.
Yeah.
I don't hate that.
Just hacking off.
We've long said that if you're going to go with the hack defense, you need to just start like tweet storming like swastikas and like
but you
porn
can't
links.
Go back when you're 14.
No, I'm saying
yeah,
like
you can't
right
have
now,
it 6
just
years
be
ago.
like, yeah, it's hard when it's 6 years ago, but when people use the hack nowadays, you just need to just like tweet
like
through
lemon
the
party.
Yeah,
like
right.
you just have
like
to have
links to the
outrageous
CIA
stuff.
and just like weird
The
like,
Pain Olympics.
right? And then after a day, be like, yeah, I got hacked.
To be honest, well, first of all, I don't know that anybody actually cares because these are so harmless.
If people cared, they're fucking assholes.
Right.
Because this is one of those situations where it's very funny and we should all laugh about it. But if you actually like are holding it against a 13-year-old kid for being somewhat immature, fuck you.
13 years
he's
old
not
having
immature.
Twitter.
He's mature as fuck. He's getting his asshole licked.
Yeah, true.
13 years old having Twitter 5 years ago is wild.
Well,
Mind blowing.
that's what I was going to say, actually. When you really think about it, somebody like that, the Michael Jordan, the MJ of Delaware, I haven't heard a nickname like that since the Jewish Jordan out in Minnesota.
Yeah, no, Maryland.
I thought he went to Minnesota.
Maryland.
I think it's Minnesota.
No, Maryland. I'll put my life on it.
I think the Jewish Jordan went to Minnesota.
You want to search it?
You're
My
not
life
talking
is on
about
it.
Harold Miner, Baby
No,
Jordan.
I'm
That's
talking
also
about
that's
Jewish
USC.
Jordan.
I think Jewish Jordan went to Minnesota.
He had a scholarship from Maryland.
I think he went to Minnesota.
Okay.
Oh, we got the finger
My
up for
life
Tommy.
is literally on the line right
What
now.
happened?
We
Did
got
you
the
just jump
finger
on
up
the
from
river and
Tommy.
you're wrong?
Putting the
I think it's
finger up.
Minnesota.
Thank you.
You went to Maryland?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. All right. Good for you.
Yeah. That's it. My
Donnie,
life
your
was on the line. Yeah, my life was on the line.
I was going to say if you really think about it, if those are the worst tweets they had of them in like 10 years, that's actually not that bad.
Yeah.
No, it's not like Carson Wentz.
Yeah.
Carson Wentz said he was going to chop his own dick off.
Yeah. Yeah.
Brought to you by Lisa Mattresses. Get $100 off. Premium mattresses that are delivered right to your door. Whether you buy the mattress today, 2 years from now, the coupon is good for life. Sign up now. Save the coupon for whenever you're ready to buy. Sign up here, lisa.com/Barstool Mattresses. Okay. Moving away from the national champ. By the way, Villanova, I think everyone's come back. Well, no. Did we decide Brunson's officially out of school?
He graduated as a junior,
But he has a year of eligibility.
he has a year of eligibility left, so I assume he could do a post grad and stay at Villanova. I think he'll probably leave, but couldn't you see in a world where it's like Jalen Brunson's never going to be a lottery pick,
Right.
Yeah.
So everyone's like, well, his stock could never get higher. I don't think it's going to get lower either. Like it's always going to be the same. And
Yeah, because the NBA doesn't draft you because you won a national championship.
Right,
you know?
but
His dad
what's
was an
at
NBA
stake-
guy, so
what's
you'd think
at-
they
No,
had-
I think he'll be in the NBA for at least a
No,
cup
I'm saying
of
his dad was an
coffee.
NBA
Yeah.
guy, so their finances
Yeah.
must be
Right.
decent.
Right.
He will never have a more fun experience than playing basketball at Villanova.
And
3 out of 4,
at
too.
risk now is, he could be the greatest winner in college basketball history, right?
Yeah.
The
He would
greatest
be
what?
The greatest winner in college
Well,
basketball history.
No, I mean you have the UCLA
like
teams.
Kareem-
and-
Well, I'm not. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm not counting the before they expanded the tournament.
The
So
only other-
1985 on.
The only
Yeah.
thing you can compare right now to is that Florida team that had
with
Yeah, but that was
Joakim
two.
Noah,
yeah, but
and
they
Al
stunned
Horford.
everybody. They all said they were coming
Coming
back.
back,
Yeah.
they won 2, and then those Kentucky teams, and I guess Leitner, but still Leitner I think only won 2, right?
Yeah. Joel on The Price is Right, just a stunning bid, switching gears, but we have to give him some credit. So they're bidding. Somebody bid $250. Joel hits them with a $249 bid. Joel didn't look like he knew what hit him. Didn't know what planet he was on. Didn't react to it. But that's just one of those things. You get your moment. The Price is Right. You throw out a $249 right in a $250 face. I mean,
It's a terrible look, but you feel for the guy because I could easily see myself being in that situation. Just cock of the walk, just going out there, 250. Good bitch, 249.
I mean, be a legend, right?
Yeah.
It goes 249.
And you know when he says it, he's like slaps it down
Yeah.
like
Yeah, he dropped his
249.
nuts on
Now
the
say
table.
something.
Yeah.
$350. Good luck. $350. Emma. $299. $299. Joel. $349. Cianita. $351. Actual retail price $630.
it's a funny thing. And by the way, I don't think $249 ever works. You're always going to go up. Like it would always be $251. $49 generally is never going to be. You're never topping $248.
I think on Price is Right,
Yeah.
they should change the rule. If somebody goes over the top with $1, you should be able to fight them. Right then and there, just be
No,
able
but that's
to.
just strategy.
It is.
I don't
You
like
gotta
it,
just
though.
do it at the end.
I don't like that
That's
strategy.
why I mean, fourth position. You got to get called up early.
Still nothing better than Loud Sean's coming in.
Loud Sean. Imagine.
Loud Sean on Price is Right is so good.
Sean Loughlin, come on down. do you bid?
$11.75.
$1? He heard that bid. He goes to $1. The actual retail price is $820. John, you win. How are you, John? That'll be I want to get you in perfect position to view this.
A new car!
Now that we're winding down our Vegas trip, I wish he was here because we'd have the stories of him prior, but I'm glad he wasn't here during it. Does that make any sense? San Antonio, excuse me. Yes. But I meant Vegas. My brain's fucked. That I reverted like a week.
You almost 249'd yourself right there.
Yeah, big time. The Masters, they're doing the practice round. We see the TV. Riggs slept over Gary Player's house last night. Think about that. Think about that.
Think about that. Think about the fact that 2 weeks ago he was the best place ever was sleeping over your dad's house.
Yeah, he went from sleeping at my parents' apartment in Boca to Gary Player's house in Augusta.
You know, with all the reaction that goes forward with like Riggs and Trent and Gary Player on Twitter, when they were first like tweeting back and forth, I thought they were doing it with a parody Gary Player account. I was like, there's no way the actual Gary Player is like talking to them.
Where did this relationship start? How did it?
I think Riggs said Gary Player was drunk one time and they met him and he just started liking him.
We have a shitload.
I mean,
of,
Gary Player though.
Weird,
if it's Jordan Spieth, that makes sense.
If it's going around Barstool,
if it's Ricky Fowler, it makes sense. If it's one of the young, but Gary Player,
Riggs is sleeping over.
I know. I'm saying we have Tommy coming down to the lobby today and being like, "Has anyone seen Dave? I left my shorts in his room."
That sets me up for failure.
That weird.
Sets me up for failure. People are gonna run with that.
Poor Tommy's mom.
Yeah, he changed into his jumpsuit.
But you have to admit, when he says that to me, I gave him a look.
His Dave branded jumpsuit is the reason why he had to change in Dave's room.
I will say, when I went back to my room last night, I saw your shorts neatly folded over the chair with the belt. I'm like, whose shorts are fucking those? But that's going to be something that people take a run.
I'm just saying, we got a lot of weird relationships going on right now. Gary Trent sleeping in
but they're driving down Magnolia Lane.
I mean, the idea of Gary Player waking up and throwing on his robe and walking out and seeing fucking Trent eating Cheerios at his table is unbelievable.
It's quite a world. The Barstool universe never ceases to amaze me with the shit we all get into.
And then this brought to the story. I love how hard ass the Masters is, but they have put out a memo. If you yell dilly dilly, you at the Masters, you will be removed immediately. And again, I think when they say that, they just mean killed.
Yep.
And they have a whole list. They gave us the security people a list of different things. The list hasn't been revealed. We need to know what else is on that list. You know Viva La Stool is on that list. Yep. You know mashed potatoes, Baba Booey, Dilly Dilly.
Yep. I picture somebody just like getting like duh, just like the first syllable that just grabbed.
Fucking ice pick in the back of
Dilly,
the head.
Don't you fucking dare. And you just wait. Dilly, get out.
Well, the thing is, I don't even think they have to do this at the Masters because aren't those tickets so hard that like no one going to the Masters is gonna scream anything.
And
I disagree, man. Like how much golf is like younger generation now. I think that you can get your hands on it.
No, but what I'm saying is the price to get in and the ticket is so hard to get that like you can't have a casual.
But it's the super rich white kid that's gonna get in that's going to do that kind of
stuff.
stuff.
And his dad's gonna slap him across the face with a white like leather glove.
Even the Masters crowd though takes the golf very seriously.
Yes.
When we were there, they were all dressed up like in spikes.
Right.
I mean, they were wearing golf spikes.
I went to the U.S. Open.
Frankie, I was making fun of it. I was like, look at these assholes wearing spikes. What do they think? Frankie had brought his own spikes and just didn't bring them out because he heard my rant.
I went to the U.S. Open one year and they had there was guys wearing spikes and golf gloves.
Yes, crazy.
Golf.
What are you doing? Yeah.
Ooh.
What are you doing, buddy?
Jerome Baker, Ohio State prospect, says a question that was asked to him in his interview by a NFL exec or scout was, what would he do if he punched him in the face right now? The player said, all due respect, sir, we'd fight. And the guy said, good. Like that is.
I think that's a much more fair question to ask somebody than was your mom a prostitute?
Or like, do you like men?
I feel like that's a much more because you're more likely to get punched in the face by a fan like walking off.
And that's not a great answer.
What?
We'd fight.
Right.
That's a great answer.
Well, if you get hit by a fan, you can't.
It's a football guy answer.
Yeah.
It depends on
the whole.
The GM. The GM probably doesn't like it. The offensive line coach probably does.
Yeah, true.
But the question I love these questions because they're simply made to see how you think on the spot in a weird situation. Could you imagine going into you're an accountant going into an interview for a big job, and they're like, "What would happen if I punch you in the face?"
They need to take it to the next step.
That's better
hit
than saying, "Let me see your resume."
Just walk up, boom.
Right.
Don't ask hypothetical. Just do it.
You want to see how people react.
Mm-hmm.
Chaps, you blogged this. We got a new challenge sweeping the nation for all the young kids out there. So what they are doing is they are snorting condoms.
Ooh, whoa. You got a frog in your throat. Take a bait.
Clear that out with the vape.
Yeah, clear that out. Clear that out. Clear it.
Dang.
Oh, yeah. There you go.
That was
All
good.
clear.
All right, so the condom, the kids are snorting condoms, and they're bringing it up. They're bringing out their nose like old school noodling with it in their mouth. And I guess it's becoming like a viral craze. I don't know why they're doing it, but I had probably the most woke comment that I've ever got on Twitter.
Okay.
That they think. So I think left Twitter is starting to think that these kids are right Twitter plants, and that because Don Jr. was the one that I quote tweeted in the blog, and so they're doing this to make teenagers look irresponsible, so that they don't stop talking about guns. You're gonna believe about guns when these kids are eating Tide Pods and snorting condoms.
That's smart.
That's
smart.
That's a woke comment.
Yeah, but that's a smart tactic.
And when I saw it, when he said it, I was like, I can kind of see that.
Remember when kids a couple years ago were putting vodka-dipped tampons in their assholes?
That sounds like something a double duck Vaughn would do.
Yeah, I mean, I'll say this. You know what? I'll say this.
Shout out the double vodka Don, Big Ev.
Is the double vodka Don inserting with us?
Oh, yeah.
If the double vodka Don shows up to Barstool, his internship day one, and he has not already put a tampon soaked with vodka in his ass on his own volition, he's not the double vodka Don. He's the single vodka Don.
Do you also remember the coffee enema craze that went around?
Oh, yeah.
Where people were trying to clean themselves out and just shoving all kinds of coffee up their butts.
Dude, I read this article the other day about this woman who's selling this crazy cabbage diet where you just drink cabbage.
Oh.
And it's
I did the all-onion diet.
It's, people
that
with cancer
horrible.
think that it cures cancer and then they die. It's terrible.
That's not good either.
Yeah, it's
You drink cabbage and you die?
No, people with cancer who are terminal, who are kind of all out of options, are instead of doing chemo, I'm going to drink this cabbage.
Oh.
And it's just fucked up.
And it dehydrates them too, right? Because you're going to have some issues there.
Man, the internet's a bad
Cabbage
place.
dehydrates?
Oh yeah, because you can't process it, so you'll just start shitting and shitting and shitting.
It's like corn?
Yeah. Why do you think Charlie Bucket from Willy Wonka was so thin? Dude ate cabbage soup every day.
Good point. Didn't think about that.
Don't know who that is.
Yeah, you
Charlie
do.
Bucket?
Charlie Bucket?
Yeah,
from Charlie and
Willy
Chocolate
Wonka.
Factory?
Oh, Charlie.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't know his last name was
He
Bucket.
slept in a bed with all his grandparents.
You threw me off. His last name was Bucket.
Charlie Bucket.
All right, so that's the rundown. Anything last final words from San
Why
Antonio?
didn't they just get multiple beds? They had the biggest bed ever, and they all slept.
Why
in it
was
together.
Grandpa Joe so lazy? And everybody talks about Grandpa Joe being lazy. Grandpa George doesn't get a free pass.
No.
He was lazy as shit too.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it. Tommy.
Well, that being said, George could have actually been really sick because he actually stayed in bed while Joe got up.
And he probably thought the cabbage was helping.
Yeah.
I just ended it with we got bubbles. I just ended it with the smoothest vape I've had all trip. Getting much better at it. I don't know if I want to go for two.
Yeah, come on, you got it. Back to back. Going back to back. Oh, wow.
Dang.
Damn.
Pretty good. All right, so thanks for
David,
sending
back
us
again
out
with
here.
the blue vape.
Michigan will be back, maybe not. That's the rundown.
1 in 5. 1 in 5 in championship games.
Michigan?
Yeah, that's tough.
San Antonio, well, we beat Louisville, so that's a win.
No, you didn't beat Louisville.
Well, Louisville
you
had
lost
to
Louisville
rescinded the title,
no,
and now it's ours.
That's not how it works.
I will say San Antonio, I think you've changed.
I've grown on it.
I think it is a spectacular big event city. The Riverwalk's awesome, centrally located. The stadium itself inside stinks, but it's a walking distance. The weather's been nice. I would come back to a major event here anytime.
Couple things happened. One, we changed from being in the worst hotel ever.
Yeah, that I took control. Brett, you really fucked us there.
That was the change. That was the trip changer.
Yep.
It changed everything.
The fact that Brett thought I would stay in that hotel that had other people's human hair all over it for 5 days is bananas.
The moment that I pulled in, I called my wife and laughed. I was like, Dave is going to hate this hotel.
Yeah.
I mean, the fact that I it's just sometimes your brain just stops. I know, Brett, you were like doing your own stuff gallivanting around Houston with the car that you rented for us that you took on your own trip. But how you thought you could leave and leave us there, I'll never know. I don't want to leave on a good note. I don't want to get sour about
the cell phone service somehow started working. It worked fine last night in the Alamo Dome. And as long as you come, I think in probably, what would you say, Chaps, like November to right about now.
Yeah, you guys come back. You guys come back in like a week and a half. It'll be better.
Yeah, I have a feeling that like the walk home last night from the game, it was humid and kind of gross.
Where are these bubbles coming from?
I don't know.
I don't know,
but
I love it.
I've changed my tune on San Antonio. It's not the worst.
We should have had a bubble machine the entire time.
I love it. It's like psychedelic.
Yeah, it's very
With
nice.
The smoke, you got to get the smoke. It feels like a rave. It's a blackout tour, circa Stoolapalooza. It's the rundown.